hope you are as excited as I am. I have had the opportunity for 30 years to work with a radio legend. And last year, I had an opportunity to work with the other radio legend. And he came in, he sat in for Tom Joyner, and I had never had an opportunity to work with the one and only Donnie Simpson. It was a dream, ladies and gentlemen. It was so much fun. It was almost as much fun as working with Tom Joyner for all those years. I have always had such a fanship of his and such an admirer of his work, but to sit there and to work across from him, it was truly a dream come true. And now he's here on my little YouTube channel, and it is great because I developed a real love and kinship for you and your wife. And so I say hello and thank you for joining us, Donnie Simpson.
Oh, thank you, Sybil. Thank you for having me. I got to tell you, it was such an honor to be there with you guys. I mean, it was just this instant bond with the whole crew. I mean, I just loved everybody. And I remember the first day, y'all were like, man, you got to sit in the big chair. I was like, man.
Yeah, Donnie was going to sit on the other side. And he's like, I'm good here. And I was like, oh no, you got to do it all. Yeah, you got to sit in the big chair.
It just felt disrespectful to me. That's Tom's chair. Every man's got his chair in his house.
That's true. That's true.
So finally they were like, but everything runs from here. You have to. This is the only way it will work.
That's right.
I want Tom to know that's the only reason I sat in your chair, bro. They made me.
You're like, not me.
Oh,
No. But and you did such a great job with all of us because we don't work with different people very often, Donnie. Because of the way the show runs, and so it was a great opportunity, and it really was immediate for all of us. From our executive producer, Kim Nelson Ingram, to our producer, and to Leah, who was handling all of our social media stuff, and and brought in some nice cakes and what have you.
She did. and Leah would pick me up every morning at the hotel, bring me there and drop me off. And for my last day, she had a carrot cake. Oh my God, I dream about that carrot cake. It was so good. She's so amazing, and we've stayed in touch. She's just a really amazing person and a beautiful spirit.
Right.
So we've maintained contact. Me, her, and my wife Pam. So but Pam came down for a couple days, and she had a good time.
Oh, and that was so great, and you were able to continue your ritual of Pam being on Fridays with us.
That's right. Yeah,
and that was so much fun.
Yeah. Because in DC, every Friday, I have Pam on my show. And what that goes back to is like when we first started going together.
Right.
All right. Back in 1971 in high school.
Come on now.
Yeah, 71. And Pam would go, because I started in the radio real early. So Pam would go to work with me every night. And she would just be hanging out, not on the air. She's just hanging out in the studio because we were together all the time. So every night. But then kids happen, so all these years later, to go back full circle to that, to having her just on Fridays. But that just made it so cool to me to have my girlfriend back in the studio with me every Friday, because she's still that, she's
I know that. Yeah, that is your and she's your boo for real, because her October 31st birthday.
That's right. Halloween baby, she is truly my boo. And
so great.
We celebrate this October to be 47 years of marriage.
Wow.
And so I'm thrilled about that.
I know that's
I always tell people that's the greatest thing in life for me, in my life, is to see this woman who was my high school sweetheart now in the role of grandmother.
Yeah.
How cool is that to see that much of someone's life?
Yeah.
And she's so good at it. It's like
she's good at everything, Donnie.
She's awesome, man. She's awesome.
And you guys are such a dynamic couple. You really are. You're lovely.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Sybil.
I mean, you guys are hashtag couples goals. You know what I mean? It's like, but you know what? I wanted you to talk about that because you really did start in this business at a very young age.
Yeah.
How can you give folks an idea of how young you were and what it was that drew you to this business?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was, you know, I was 15 years old, and I grew up in a record shop. My mother owned a record shop, Simpson's record shop in Detroit, which has everything to do with why I do what I do, you know, that love for music and everything. And but people used to come in my mother's shop and they would go, God, you sound just like a DJ. And it was in one ear, out the other. You know, I wanted to be a Baptist minister.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, I was inspired by the Reverend Cleophas Robinson out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Wow.
And yeah, but, you know, somewhere along the line, George Clinton turned me out, and here I am. You know, things happen.
Okay. Okay.
Right, but my voice
and
changed.
I don't know how Reverend Cleophas felt about George Clinton being the one to take you away from the ministry, but okay, all right.
I know. Would you believe this? I contacted him many years later after, you know, Video Soul and all of that. And I just wanted to reach out to him to let him know what he meant to me as a child, because he would come to our church and do revivals in Detroit. And he was just amazing to me. I used to tell my mom, I'm gonna be just like Reverend Cleophas Robinson, and I'm gonna have my mom travel with me on the road and all of that. But he just was a really nice man. And he had gospel albums, was a good singer and all that stuff. So so anyway, my one day, the local DJ, he did the morning show there, weekdays, Al Perkins, the Percolator. So the Perk came out and did his show live from my mother's record shop for 3 hours on Saturday afternoon. They had these big broadcast booths. It was the back of a truck, you know, and the booth was all glass and he'd park out front. So he had me come in like once an hour and I would announce the specials. You know, we got the Temptations greatest hits on sale for $2.99 this hour. And so then people came in the record shop and go, man, I heard you on the radio, man. You sound just like a DJ. And it's like, But the thing that really got me, Sybil, was sitting there watching Al do his show. He's got his headphones on, man, and he's grooving to the music. And man, I was like, man, I could do that. I could do that.
With your eyes closed.
And that's, to this day, that's all those years, people like I did Video Soul and people like talk about the videos and stuff. It's like, man, I never saw any videos. I watch videos like this.
Like
I just want the music. You know, I love music. So so anyway, there was a group, the radio station there had a group called the WJLB Soul Teen Reporters. One student from each public high school came into the radio station, recorded a little 60 to 90 second spiel about what was going on in school. Seniors, don't forget cap and gown measurements next Friday. We've got a bake sale Tuesday. You know, the #1 song at Pershing is, and the lovers of the week are, you know, and they didn't have a reporter from my school. So they'd asked me to do it. So I went down to do it.
Donnie.
And man, it was, they accepted me. And the first day I made my recording, the guy who was recording, he was a DJ. He did 8 to midnight every night. His name was Jehu Mumphrey, the Cat. Cat Daddy-O, tracking on your raggedy radio. So Cat records, he pushes play and record, and I'm telling you, I read my first line and he just stopped and went, you have got to be in radio. Like that. It was just confirmation from the very first line. Right there for me. And so from doing that little 60 to 90 second spiel, which ran once, maybe twice a day, man, I became more popular than most of the DJs because I was this kid with this heavy voice. You know, and so they started putting me on weekends for 3 hours. And when I was 15, and then they fired the guy who worked 8 to midnight, and they asked me to sit in for him for 1 week to give them time to find someone else.
Sure.
Sat there for 7.5 years. You know? But Sybil, I was so young. I mean, my mom had to drive me to work. I didn't even have a
That's what I was
license.
going to ask you.
15,
Yeah, right.
You know, and in Detroit too, at that time, Detroit was the 5th largest market in the country. So, you know, this thing of starting in a small market and working your way up.
Yeah.
For me, it was just instant. I was so blessed, so fortunate to start so young in a major market. I would have to go to school every day. After school, I'd go, my mom would drive me to the station. I record my last hour and a half because I couldn't work past 10:30.
Right.
Then I go home, have dinner, do my homework, go back to the station at 8, do the show live from 8 to 10:30, put up the tape and leave. You know,
Donnie.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Awesome.
It was crazy. And to be that popular, I mean, it was just, I mean, I used to do them sock hops and stuff, man. And could never play my last song, you know, could never announce it. You know, I just had to leave because the girls would go crazy. You know, I mean, running from had clothes stripped off you and all that kind of stuff.
You were a Beatle.
It was crazy. A Detroit Beatle. They don't grab at me as much as they used to. I wish somebody would grab me now, please. Oh,
come
man.
on in. They may not run after you, but they walk as fast as they can, Donnie.
Some fast walking. Oh, man. That's so funny.
So, Donnie,
you know,
how did you meet Pam in the midst of all of this?
Wow.
That story is what I love so much.
Yeah. Well, we went to different high schools.
Right.
My twin brother went to her high school. Believe it or not, me and my twin brother didn't even go to the same high school.
Wow.
Because when I went to high school, I used to have so much fun. I was always in trouble in junior high school. I remember the principal telling me, "We're going to set up a tent here outside my office for you," you know, but it would always just be nagging stuff, you know, nothing to get sent home about, just stupid, just, you know, kid stuff. So I decided that I needed to get my head into school and stop having so much fun, which is a pretty mature thought at that age, going into high school.
12, 13 years old, yeah.
Yep. So I separated from my brother, my friends, and I went out to this other school, man, and it was good for me. I mean, it worked. But back to me and Pam, their school, Mumford High, made famous by Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop.
Right.
Mumford was having their senior skip day, and man, it's like all the fine girls, not all of them, but a lot of them went to Mumford and Cass Tech. So I went to Mumford's senior skip day actually to meet her best friend. Her name was Millie Talaferro, and she was beautiful and pregnant. I didn't know that.
Okay, all right. Well, there's a welcome for you.
I probably shouldn't be putting Millie's business in the street like that, but it's out there now. But that's what happened. But going there to meet Millie, I met Pam. And I was like, man, I like this girl, man. And my brother knew her. My twin brother introduced us. Okay. And I just said, man, I just really liked her. I liked her so much. I got her phone number. And that night I went, you know, you always try to be cool when you're 15. You know, I had a policy. If I get your phone number, I ain't gonna call you for 1 week. You know, you don't want to seem anxious, you know?
Yeah, you're cool like that.
So I'm cool like that, right? And so I violated that policy and called her that night. And that's why you have policies, because I got caught. Called her that night. We hung out the next day. She was just so cool. I remember thinking she was so cool. You won't believe this, but the song that made her seem cool to me, she was into Bill Withers' "Ain't No Sunshine." But that started as a jazz hit in Detroit. They played
Is
it on the
that
jazz station.
right?
We weren't playing it on
Wow.
my station. And she listened to jazz. I was like, dang, man, she's like a jet beauty of the week. You know? she listened to jazz and everything. Sophisticated, you know?
And she likes jazz and everything.
Right. But she was just really, really cool. And she is still that. Just,
still that way.
You know, yeah, really a cool person. You know,
Yeah.
it's you know, I mean, everybody has their ups and downs, you know.
Of
I don't mean to make it sound like La La Land 24/7, you know. But
22 out of 24 ain't bad.
You know what, Sybil? I've always likened it to a tennis game, and it is a tennis match that, you know, you can lose the point and not lose the game. You can lose the game and not lose the set. You can lose a set and not drop the match.
Come on.
You know, you got to
Come
keep
on.
playing. And so that's the way I look at it, that you may have had some rough games. You know, I played bad in that particular game, but overall, man, shoot, man, this is 47 love.
Come on. That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's cool. It's, you know, I was talking to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis earlier. You know, these are my boys. And, this is a conversation we had. This is several years ago, but they were talking about how that they believe that relationship had so much to do with my success because you had your base set so early.
Yeah.
You know, you weren't out there looking for a girl. Your foundation was set. And I agree with that. I mean, me and Pam were married at 19. We had our first child 1 year and 2 days later at 20. Wow. You know, when I went to college, I mean, man, I never stayed on campus. I don't even know that life. You know, I had a house with a wife and a baby. You know, it was just a different thing for me. I was, you know, people say, I remember my bachelor days. I remember my bachelor day. You know, it may have been like one day. I've been married all my life. And it suits me well. You know, I mean, I like being married. I like being held accountable. You know, I do. I really do. I don't know. I just, you know, I'm just thinking.
Is the more popular Simpson boy, is Lonnie like that too?
Yes. Lonnie is.
You know, I love wishing Lonnie a happy birthday, and his brother Donnie too. Yeah.
Yeah, right. There you go. I love it. Well, you picked the better of the two. I'm telling you, that dude is, Lonnie is, I always tell, the richest man I know. You know, because of his spirit, you know, Lonnie, oh my God. Well, he's a minister. And so I guess he got what I thought I would get.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to ask you about. Yeah, because your mama did get a minister in the family.
Yeah, well, too. My oldest brother's a minister.
There you go.
You know, and she still to this day tells me, baby, you trying to run away from something you can't get away from. You're gonna be a minister.
Okay.
You know. Okay. But then she also tells me that, but you know, you work from a bigger pulpit than you would have been afforded.
Yeah.
Going the route that you did. You know, you still get to spread that word. You know.
Yeah, you
do. Yeah. But Lonnie is so, like I always tell him, like one thing I love about him, the thing that spiritualism gives you, that book gives him, that Lonnie needs no time to think about how he feels about something. He's only allowed one way to feel about it. It's immediately.
Wow.
You know, what a blessing that is. I'm not quite that way. You know, I'm like, maybe we can get away with this. You know? I'm not sure. Like Marvin Gaye, holy. Lonnie is holy, like Marvin Gaye's song. WHOLLY, HOLY.
Right.
Holy.
Wow.
You know?
That is so awesome. That is so awesome. So I got to ask you, because people are asking, what is your workout regime? Because they said the guns are popping.
Oh, man. That's golf.
Oh, that's all golf?
No. my workout routine I have been really good lately. Yeah, I'm a silver lining guy, Sybil. So
Okay.
even in this pandemic, I said, all right, I got to pull something positive out of this. So right away, when they start shutting things down, I said, I know what's going to happen. People are going to come out of this saying, yeah, man, I picked up a COVID-19, sitting around eating all day. I said, I'm going the other way because I know discipline. I'm dropping a COVID-19. And so far it's been 25.
Wow.
Yeah, I've
That's
dropped
awesome.
25. Yeah.
That is
But
so awesome.
I walk every morning with a little running. My doctor doesn't want me to, your knees when they get a certain age, you shouldn't, but I'm still able to. I mean, I can get, and I run. I mean, when I'm running, I'm moving.
Yeah.
Not a jog, I'm running. And so
like you're back home in Detroit.
but that's why I get in trouble. That's why I pull muscles, because all of a sudden I start thinking I'm 19 again.
Right. Right.
And my best friend in Detroit was Lim Barney, who used to play for the Detroit Lions, the Hall of Fame cornerback. That's who taught me discipline.
Wow.
I mean, I think about Lim every single day when I go to get my workout in, because Lim's thing was always, man, if God gives me this body, at least I can do is give it 1 hour every day.
Wow.
So that's what I do every day. But Lim taught me discipline. Lim, he was such an influence on me. I mean, like back in the day, I'm sorry, I'm drifting into something else, but Lim, I used to not do autographs because I didn't understand it. It's like, I felt like, if you give me yours, then I'll give you mine. I mean,
right.
What is that? Why is my autograph valuable to you? Why, I just, I hate it being singled out. I hate it walking in restaurants and hearing it's Donnie Simpson. Oh my God, I hated all of that, And so I wouldn't do autographs because of that. But Lim told me one day, he said, Bug, well, in Detroit, I was Donnie the Love Bug Simpson. And so people from back home call me Bug. And so Lim says, Bug, you know what, man? I understand what you're saying. That's very noble. I get it. But you know what that kid's going to say when he gets home? I met Donnie Simpson today, and he wouldn't give me his autograph. I was like, wow, that's wow. That's not what I mean at all,
Right.
And I said, so that changed it that day. And plus, it's easier to do it than to try to explain it so much. But now you don't even do autographs anymore. Everybody just takes pictures.
Yeah, everybody just wants to get that selfie with you.
I know.
Yeah.
Which is great.
But in terms of what you've learned over this course of your career, because your reputation is that of a love bug, because you are so gregarious with us. But has that always been the case with you? Have you always been the life? Oh wow.
Always, from day one. I mean, I just, I love people. And I think about this way too simple, but I always say that, I'm a simple man. That's not to be confused with stupid, but simple. And my purpose is to spread joy, is to share a smile. It's just that simple with me, And every day when I go, I run down at the Potomac River at the canal, and people stop me and just go, "Wow, thanks for your smile."
Oh.
Well, they don't even know me most of the time.
Right.
Thanks for I needed that, and we all need that, especially at a time like this. And but my mom always said that from the time I was a little kid, that I would make you say hello. I mean, you got to speak to me. I don't believe in just walking by and not speaking. She said, I would be in front of your house. I'm 4 or 5 years old. Hi.
Yep.
She would say, please say hi to this boy. He'll be here all day.
I mean, Donnie, my mom did the same thing with me, and it was at Halloween. She would put me at the door for the kids to come by, and if they didn't speak to me, they didn't get candy. And so All she wants to do is for you to say hello to her. She's just like, hi,
Really?
hi.
That's so funny.
And everybody that says hi gets a piece of candy.
Really?
It was the exact same thing.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's really interesting because my mom used to sit me at the door on Halloween. Really, but it was completely different. I was the ugliest child. She wanted me to scare everybody away, so she didn't have to pass out any candy.
Really? You are so silly.
Oh man, I was the ugliest one. My oldest brother Calvin, he was so handsome. I was scared to bring Pam home when I met her. I was like, she ain't gonna want me when she sees him.
Did she know
that's for real?
Did she know that Lonnie was going to introduce her to his twin brother?
No, she didn't know it going into that day. It just happened at the picnic that day.
Wow.
Yeah, it just happened, and no, she had no idea. You know,
she could have said he could have said he looks a lot like me, and she was like, nah, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
Nah.
But it's funny. Me and my oldest brother Calvin look way more like me and my twin brother. You wouldn't even know we were brothers.
That's what you said, and I've seen the picture of you guys celebrating your birthdays together. And yeah.
My other twin brother is JT, of course, from Kool and the Gang.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Yeah. We took a picture together once that was such a classic. I mean, even our mothers would look at it and go like, oh my God, you guys look just like twins. You know?
Anything you want to share with us?
Yeah, right. And then there was one more, actually, Sonny, who was the drummer for Earth, Wind, and Fire. He was like, we were like triplets.
Wow, that is so cool.
So,
Donnie, what do you want people to remember you for? Because you've had, and now you are going through this period of time where you left. You were a tremendous success on radio and television, on BETs, and then you retired. You came back. You're on the Walk of Fame of BET. You've been in, what is it, the R&B Hall of Fame, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now you are one of the nominees for the Radio Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Sybil. Thank you.
And I'm going to give people that information because we can start voting very soon on that. But how do you want to be remembered? And I know it's too soon for you to be thinking about retiring again. But how is it that you want people to remember Donnie Simpson?
Well, I guess two immediate thoughts. One goes to what I said to you earlier, just, and it's how I've lived my whole life, that all I want is that on the day that I die, that someone says, he was a nice man.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. It's that simple to me, you know? So that's one thought, I guess. I don't know, the career stuff, you know, I mean, it's cool. It's funny, Sybil, but you know, I was in the process of writing a book. I hate to even bring it up because I've been promising this book for like 4 years.
Yeah. Donnie, I want to have you on the book club. Okay, we're gonna get it.
Yeah, we'll do it. But in that process of working with a writer, you're forced to look at things and to give them some kind of order. And it's a weird experience because like all my life, my story was a radio story.
Right.
You know, and in writing this book, I mean, it's like all the stories about radio, very little about TV. I have to force myself to focus on TV because I'm such a radio guy. I've always been that from the time I was a kid. But as we went through it, I found out that your story really is a television story, you know, because of BET being the first Black television network and you being the face of it. And, you know, I mean, it's amazing what that thing was, you know. I mean, think about it. When we were kids, I remember we had 3 choices in television: CBS, ABC, and NBC. Well, in Detroit, we had CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, because it was right across the river.
Yeah.
So they, you know, it was terrible. think about that, like when you think about BET, that when it came along, if you wanted Black programming 24/7, you had one choice. That was it. You know,
Wow.
and you were blessed to be the face of this thing. That was, you know, it's you know, and it's you never think about it, Sybil.
Right.
You don't. It's like I remember VH1 did a piece called Black in the 80s. And it was a 1-hour documentary, and they had interviewed me for it. And so the night it came on, you know, I'm sitting there watching it. Came on at 9 o'clock. My bedtime is 10, so this is perfect. So the first 15 minutes or so, they do Bryant Gumbel, the first Black to host a morning talk show, the Today Show. Then they do Arsenio Hall, the first Black to host a late night national talk show. Then they do Cosby, the first Black sitcom to feature a doctor and a lawyer as opposed to a janitor and a short order cook or whatever. And then they do Donnie Simpson and videos. I was so blown away, Sybil. I'll never forget it. As soon as the show ended, my first thought was, okay, how the hell am I supposed to get to sleep tonight? You know, really, I mean, what am I supposed to do with that? Because that was the first time for me that things were given perspective. There's a line, one of my favorite songs, one of my favorite artists ever is Elton John. And the song Rocket Man, which I love so much. The last verse, when he says, you know, and all the science I don't understand. It's just my job 5 days a week, a rocket man. You know, I took that as like, I'm an astronaut. People like, wow, or like you're a DJ. It's glamorous and all that. Man, I don't care what it is. It is just what you do. That's it. It's a job. It's a job. That's what you do. I remember when Tony Perkins, who was my sidekick, was hired as he's great. He's great. When he was hired as the weatherman for Good Morning America, he's so nervous. And I talked to him that Sunday night before his debut on GMA, which is a big deal. I mean, there are two weathermen in the country. Right. It's Al Roker and him at the time. That's it. And he was so nervous. And I told him, I said, Tony, you know what, bro? I understand it. I said, but believe me, man, in no time at all, this is going to turn into what it is, a job. That's all it is. It's a job, you know? And I mean, I don't want to make it sound like it's
and that's not to take away from and all of the great things that come out of it. Absolutely.
No question. I love what I do, Sybil. I'm so blessed that here I am 51 years into my run, and I can't wait for my next show. Can't wait.
That's awesome.
I love doing it.
Awesome.
You know, I mean, what's there not to like? I play music I love. You know, for me, I'm blessed that unfortunately this is not the norm in radio anymore, but I have total freedom to do whatever I want.
That's unheard of.
I know. And that's sad, but that's what I grew up under. You know, show prep for me was going through my albums going, man, I'm gonna drop this tonight, and I'm gonna drop this. You know, I had a big leather satchel that could hold probably 50 albums. I'd load that thing up and go to work. You know, that's what I like doing. That's part of being a DJ for me, is hearing stuff and going, man, I'm gonna turn them on to this. They'll love this. You know, and if I can real quickly,
going deep into the album.
Deep. Just tell you this story real quick, and this is going way back to Detroit. I told you I was a huge Elton John fan. So I got the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road album. The DJ who was closest in age to me, Claude Young, the big soul rocker, my big brother, turned me on to Elton. So we'd sit there every night listening to this album, and I'm like, man, I love this song, Benny and the Jets. But I was scared to play it because we were on a Black radio station. They didn't know Elton. Finally, man, 1 week left, man, I'm playing it. So I went on there and played it that night. I played it twice. The reason I played it the second time was because the phones were jumping off the hook from the first time. I have never seen anything like that, anything so immediate. They just look, it was so immediate. The morning jock, Al Perkins, the guy who inspired me, Al calls me at home, wakes me up at 7:30 in the morning. What is this song you played last night? Jenny and the Nets or something? He said, you gotta bring it down to me. I had to get in the car, take it down to him so he could play it.
Wow.
In 2 days, Elton was on the phone. Elton called the radio station. What is this I hear? Benny and the Jets is breaking black in Detroit. You know, Sybil, it was the craziest thing. 6 months later, he flies to Detroit, holds a press conference to present me with a gold record for this thing. It was his biggest selling single ever at that time. Now it's Candle in the Wind, the Lady Di version.
Die song,
But it was huge to him. For him to hold a press conference to present me with a gold record, man, I was just blown. It was amazing. Man. That thing was so I bring it up to say this though. That
I'm getting goosebumps and the vapors.
It was. I saw Elton on the Today Show 3 or 4 years ago. It was the 40th anniversary of the release of that album. And Matt Lauer said to him, "I'm gonna push a button later. You ain't gonna believe what happens in my office." No, that was really bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, but Matt says to him, he says, out of all the songs you've done, there's one when you hit the first chord, everybody goes crazy. And Elton says, yeah. He goes, Benny and the Jets, it broke out of Detroit, and R&B, it broke black in Detroit. And that was so huge for me. He said, because I grew up loving Motown and soul music, and I wanted so badly to be accepted by them. And so I was like, wow, that's so cool that he recognizes that you played a part in something that's so significant to him. I used to send him black gospel albums because he couldn't get it there. And I would send it over to him because that's what my mom specialized. You know, so I wanted to say all of that to say this, Sybil, is that when I think about that story and how incredible that was for me, that it saddens me. It doesn't make me happy that like you're the only one with freedom. That makes me sad. Because there's so many other young people out there with great ears that will never have the chance to express themselves musically. And that's tragic to me.
That really is.
That's tragic. You know, I mean, computers do it. Everything is programmed. It's like, you know, I'm a look out the window kind of guy. You know, I'm always looking out the window when I'm doing a show. I want to feel the day. I used to actually get up and walk around. I need to feel it. It's something, it's a spirit that connects us. And I need to be in touch with that.
And have that connection.
A computer can't do that.
Right.
You can't program. There's certain songs I'll play on a rainy day that I won't play on a sunny day. You know, a computer can't program that. So, you know, I just wish that radio would let its people go. You know, that you to me, because I programmed for a long time.
Right.
Any of my jocks would tell you, total freedom. It's like, I believe this. I believe you hire talented people and let them go. That if you're trying to please me, if you're just being my version of you, you've got nothing vested in it. Right. I want you presenting you, and that's how we're gonna win.
Exactly.
You know, that's how we're gonna win.
It's a people business and a personality business.
No doubt, Sybil.
Just be, you know, just reading. We got to keep the conversation going, but we also, you know, we have this little newsletter, What You Need to Know. And every day we talk about the issues in super serving, what I learned from Tom Joyner in super serving the African-American community and the stories that we do. And one of the stories that's in today's newsletter, I want to talk to you about because I love talking, and especially because you are there in Washington, D.C. and have all of the, and we had some great conversations on the air talking about, the whole political situation. Wondering if you have had a chance to see first of all, the video that President Obama and Vice President Biden have recorded. It's going to be released tomorrow, but they've given us a little snippet of it.
Yeah. Oh, I saw the snippet. I posted it on my social media today because I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, well, the thing I loved most about it, I'm a simple man. Well, seeing Obama walk.
Yeah. Don't you love that walk? That was great. That was great.
Man,
all right.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I thought Samuel L. Jackson could walk.
Nope.
I thought Denzel could. Ain't nobody got that kind of swag
Come
like
on.
Obama.
That's Southside Chicago, baby. That's what that is. That ain't Hawaii. That's the Southside Chicago walking down the street.
Love it. I just love that man so much.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited I can't wait to see the rest of the video that's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
I really look forward to that. And I think that one of the things that it captures is the genuine friendship between the two of them.
Yep.
Because they really are friends. And, I've met both of them. Joe a couple times, Obama many times, and just a great, great guy.
Yeah.
I can't possibly tell you how much I love that man. Well, I don't have to.
No.
It's the same thing to all of us,
Yeah.
It's like prior to him, I used to always say the greatest days of my life were the 2 days my children were born.
Mm-hmm.
And that changed on that November in 2008. That changed because while that's great, but my kids are about me.
Mm-hmm.
This is about us.
Yeah.
And that's bigger. That trumps it all, man.
Don't say Trump.
I didn't say trumps it all.
Don't say Trump. Yeah. What about Biden and his campaign? Are you one of us who would like to see him choose a Black woman? And do you have a choice?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would like to see that. And I think that we will see that. It's just my thinking, but I think that this whole Black Lives Matter movement locked that in. I really do. I just don't think at this point in time that you can do it any other way. I would just be afraid of a lot of us then saying, I don't have a horse in this race, that, it would turn people off.
That's the fear.
And you need this Black women have carried this thing, and that.
Exactly.
And you can't take that chance on offending them. I mean, as far as picking one, I don't know. I love Stacey. I love Kamala.
It's like saying your favorite
Susan.
grandchild.
I know it is. Or favorite song. It's like when you ask an artist that, what's your favorite? Oh, don't ask me. It's like they're all my babies.
Okay, but Elton John is feeling pretty good right now. But no, I get that. And they're all quite capable of doing the work that has to be done.
Without doubt.
January. Yeah.
It's going to be an exciting time. I really do believe that. Obviously we've all seen his polling numbers. They're terrible. And I just really think that we're going to see some serious change come November. And it scares me what's going to happen that 3 months before inauguration. I mean,
exactly.
This guy is just nuts. I mean, he is.
And you're being kind.
I am, and I know you have some people that watch and go, they don't see it that way. To me, if you had any question about it, when you watch that fool get out there talking about putting a light up your butt and drinking Clorox, if that didn't confirm it,
it's closed.
You just didn't smile. They need to get you a padded room next to him.
And he has created a whole new life for a lot of other white people who are doing some crazy things. Like one of the stories we have today is about the couple in St. Louis that they were brandishing their guns as the Black Lives Matter folks were walking through their St. Louis neighborhood, right? And so the Black district attorney, a Black woman, Kim Gardner, has charged them with a felony. Right. And now all of the great guys in Missouri, the governor, as well as I believe it was the governor that really stuck out in my mind, says that if those people are charged, he's going to pardon them.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, that's crazy.
How bananas is this?
I know. Well, but they're taking their lead from
exactly.
the leader. I mean, that's, that if you do wrong, I'll pardon you. Roger Stone, whoever, whatever. It's forgiven. Just it didn't happen.
Let me tell you. This is one story that we did. Of course,
before you move on to that, Sybil, can I just say this? That for him to, the worst part of that whole story to me is for Trump to last week to say that these people were going to come in their house, harm them,
kill
loot
them,
their house, and burn the house down.
Yeah, and I'm going to do this in this room, and I'm going to do this and no.
How do you know they were going to do all that?
No.
That's the same thing, the same kind of thought that was presented in South Africa.
Right.
If Mandela is released and the Black folks take over, you're going to rape your kids. Same kind of thing.
Yep.
It's insane.
I'm
sorry. I just wanted to say that because that's what really made me mad about that story.
You're absolutely right. And the people that he is pardoning, that was what I was going to, because we've been talking about John Lewis. And, they came up with a person to represent him on the ballot, to take his place on the ballot in November. And so it is the woman who is a state senator, and she is Nikema Williams. And she is also the head of the Georgia State Party, Democratic Party. And she's going up against this Black woman who is a conservative. Her name is Angela Stanton King, right? She was pardoned her sentence was commuted in February of this year by Donald Trump.
Wow.
She was involved in conspiracy in a stolen car ring. She did 2 years in prison, had a baby in prison, all of this stuff. And she came out, and her godmother is the King relative that is the supporter of Donald Trump and helped her get this commutation. And so now her sentence was commuted. And so she is now running as the Republican she was going to run against John Lewis.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. It's the pardons, the commutations, all of the stuff that he has done is just unbelievable, Donnie.
You know what? I think I just figured it out. Maybe it's just a flatulence problem. He's sitting in the Oval Office going, pardon me.
That was the best dad joke I've heard in a long time. And I love that laugh. Oh my God.
Oh man.
You are so silly. One of the people that we talked about in today's newsletter is a particular favorite of mine, and I still have high hopes for him, and that's Andrew Gillum, who ran for governor in Florida. Did not make it, obviously. And now he has come out of rehab, and he is telling his story. And he talks about dealing with depression and alcoholism and how family history and all that stuff. But this is also Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And so we are talking to young people. We had a young man on yesterday, a college age student who gave up his position on a University of Texas football team so he could work on himself. He suffers from depression.
That's great. That's good.
You have a way of giving us a word, but also inspiring people, and through your music and through your words. And I just think that we need to hear more from you regarding that, because you do uplift. And Andrew Gillum, I think, could use that kind of uplift, that kind of support and words.
Yeah. Well, he's a great guy. I actually met him during his run for the governorship. I was in Florida doing some work for AARP, and got word that he was there nearby. We actually went out to the private airport and sat there. Me and Pam waited for an hour and a half for him to arrive because we wanted to meet him. You know, he was just,
Sure.
and he was so charming. Him and his wife, just really, really, really nice people.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when he went through this thing, and I know there was some scandalous elements to it, you know, whether they were true or not, I don't know.
Right.
Nor do I care. You know, I mean, that's his business. Sybil, I've always been the kind of guy that you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know, that I always see value in people. You know, sometimes I try to find the roots of that. I want to credit it to mom or dad, but maybe it's as simple as it's God that he sent you here that way. But I also credit like Curtis Mayfield, you know, Curtis, because like Curtis with James, you know, you had to say it loud and black and I'm proud. You had all that, those Black Power messages from Curtis too. But in the song, Pusher Man, it's so significant to me. And I got to tell Curtis this because we did a 2-hour Video Soul special from his house. And I was so honored to be able to tell him this, what that song meant to me. And I'm going to tie this all in. But the last verse, first of all, that song, people were so critical of it because they'd never heard anything like this. You know, want some coke, have some weed. I'm your pusher man. Baddest bitches in the bed. You know, so that's all they heard.
That's right.
But if you listen to the last verse, he says, got a woman I love desperately. Wow. That's a whole different element to this pusher man.
Man, that takes that's a whole tone, different tone.
Just that one line.
Yeah.
Got a woman I love desperately. Want to give her something better than me. Been told I can't be nothing else. Just a hustler in spite of myself. You know, that line to me, been told I can't be nothing else, it spoke to what we as parents have faced, as Black parents have faced, trying to fast track our kids into trade schools and stuff and not getting them ready for college, low expectations of our children. Been told I can't be nothing else. You know, but overall, the whole thing that verse gave me was that Curtis has this incredible ability to see people that he didn't come here as a pusher man.
Right.
It's a set of circumstances that made him that, you know, and that, so that's how I see people, that, you know, that everybody has value.
Yes.
No matter what the experiences are, you know, it can be some awful things. And I'm sorry, maybe it's that minister in me trying to get out, but I always have to have hope for you. Even if a dude came right here and burned a cross on my lawn right now with a hood on and all, I'm still going to be praying for him, you know, because he knows not what he does, you know. I mean, that I just feel that there is something at some point that will change that heart. You know, maybe it's me, maybe it's a conversation. Maybe it's like, please take that rope down from that tree. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm filled with too much of that kind of hope, you know, but it always starts there with me. And I guess I'm preaching now and I shouldn't. But,
no, come on, Pastor.
But so with Andrew, it's all about just seeing value in people. I still believe that this man could be governor.
Yeah.
You know, at the time he could be a president.
Yeah.
This does not change that.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And
change it.
And as you talked and as you talk about him and his wife and having a woman that you love desperately and because they are such a tremendous couple. And she has been there with him, and he expressed that so beautifully in the video that he distributed yesterday. And
I didn't see that. Is that a part of your newsletter?
Yes.
You have that posted? Oh, I'm gonna watch it. That's great.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
I want to see that.
he really and on his Instagram, he just talks about, she is nothing but God's grace, and she sees me and loves me in spite of all of this.
Man.
So, and I had an opportunity to interview them on the cruise after the election, and just I have, like you, I have such hope for his future. Because God's not done with him.
No.
And there are people that, because I love politics so much, and we talk, about all this stuff, but that's the kind of guy that I believe in, has been there and to the mountaintop and to the valley, and knows and has these experiences that I would follow him. You know what I mean? Because he really has gone through this and has that, just like President Obama says about Joe Biden. He has these experiences, and he's going to be able to express and to do good things for people. Still is in him to do that.
Yep. There's no doubt
Biden.
About it. There's no doubt about it, Sybil.
Just a tremendous young man. But I feel that way about you too, young man.
Well, thank you. Well, I would like to announce that
I see big things in your future.
Well, you caught me at the right time. I would like to announce my candidacy for the presidency of the United States. If Kanye is getting in there, I'm getting in too. Shoot.
That's a whole nother story.
I know. I'll be back the day after though. So Donnie, everybody is loving this, and they want you to come back on the regular. And I would love for you to come back and to have these conversations and talk news and talk music and everything else. So the door is always all right, Sybil. Well, baby, I appreciate that. I really do. I have enjoyed it immensely. I adore you. You're awesome. I admire all of the things that you've accomplished in your career. I mean, like right now, you're one of the hardest working women in show business.
That was so funny when we did that for Interactive One, and you're like, dang, Tom gave up a job and you took them all up.
I know.
I got to. I got to keep working. But I want to salute you and also tell people about the Radio Hall of Fame, which you have been nominated. And so we can start voting on July 27th, the fans.
Right, next week.
And so July 27th to August 9th. And as we do in Chicago, vote early and often.
Right.
And unfortunately, as a result of the coronavirus, it'll be a virtual celebration in October when we celebrate you. But definitely, I want people to go to the Radio Hall of Fame. No, you will. You will. Trust
I feel like this, Sybil. And I was nominated 2 years ago, and the very first thing I did was go online to see who was in there. And really, in all honesty, I was looking for one name, Frankie Crocker.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't see it.
Yeah.
And Frankie Crocker was the king to me.
Yeah.
Frankie was just the baddest DJ ever to me.
The baddest dude. Yes.
Oh my God, just so smooth, man. Oh my God. So the way I feel, to me, I remember feeling like, then you don't see us. If you don't see Frankie,
that's
then you're not legit. Frankie needs to be in there. And so now I look at this and are you still there? There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's awesome, but at the same time, I don't feel like I need that to validate me.
Gotcha.
I
understand.
But I do feel this, that it doesn't have to be me, but it does have to be us. You guys start recognizing us. There's some legendary radio personalities, from Chicago. Herb Kent, the Cool Gent, E. Rodney Jones.
Rodney, yes. And one of the greatest just delights of my life was when I was doing radio in Chicago, and I opened every Sunday for Herb Kent, and I was like, I get to introduce Herb Kent, the Cool Gent, it's coming up, and the King of the Dusties and all that. But you're absolutely right. You are so right that
they were such strong personalities, Sybil. These guys could stop riots.
Yeah.
I mean, They were voices in their communities.
And
You
this
know what
is
I
what,
mean?
yeah, yeah. And people
Right.
don't appreciate that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So
But you know what? We are going to do our part though, because
yeah.
I want you in that Radio Hall of Fame, because then
Well, thank you,
we'll
Sybil.
recognize that they see us and they see you and they
Yeah.
really appreciate the gift that you are, because you really are.
Wow.
Truly,
Well, thank you,
truly, truly, truly,
Sybil.
truly. So
Wow.
with that, I will
Thank
ask
you,
you
baby.
very
God
nicely
bless you.
if you will come back again and bring Pam with you next time. And
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
I would love that.
If we can get some COVID hairdos done, I'm wearing a hat all the time now, trying to come up this afro. I'll pull this thing off. I look like Don King.
Trust and believe, you're looking good there, player. You're not gonna have to worry about the hair. You're good. You're good.
Yeah,
Thanks
but
so
I would
much,
love
Donnie.
to. That would be
Please,
awesome.
please, please,
Okay,
please.
Sybil.
Yeah. All
Man,
right,
it's my
Dolly.
pleasure.
I
All right,
love
baby.
you
God
so
bless
much,
you.
and I
I love you
appreciate
too.
you. And everybody, tomorrow we'll be back. We will be talking news and headlines with the one and only George Wallace.
Oh, that's my man.
I know. So how do we go from Donnie Simpson to George Wallace? God has a tremendous sense of humor. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, and some fat mamas. Don't tell him I said that.
Oh, he's watching. You know he's watching, John. Hi, Donnie.
I love
Thank
you, George. Okay, you love you, Sybil.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Take
baby.
care. The one and only Donnie Simpson here with us on What You Need to Know. And we will see you tomorrow. Please be safe, be careful, wash your hands, and wear your mask. And we will see you tomorrow. Be good.